Whoa, whoa. Good morning, guys. Who's ready for another trail running workout climb? I'm Hooded Hill Hopper. It's Friday, September 18th, I believe. Let's get going. Hooded Hill Hopper again. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Ping! Share this video. We're gonna talk nonsense like we always do. Let's get going. Whoo-wee. Sharing, comment, feedback, all that fun stuff. It is hot this morning. We're talking probably a solid 70 degrees, drier weather. So you see I'm not sweating a ton. You'll notice maybe the end of yesterday's video and probably today, the sweat, you'll start seeing white stains, white lines on the windbreaker, the old Houdini. That is salt. Dry weather, you're sweating a lot of salt out. And it dries, it gets all gross. It's disgusting, I'm not gonna lie. But that's what that is. We'll probably see it. Oh, starting a little earlier today. Where are we at? 1,054 feet, 42 minutes. Yeah, because I got carried away yesterday on my rant about the theme parks, Disneyland, all them in California being closed. So I didn't really get to the meat I wanted to talk about. So I gave myself a little more time. My bad. Oh man, he's not gonna do a 30-minute video, is he? Probably not 30. We'll see though. So anyways, yeah, we're trying to get warmed up here. Whew. Let's get going. Okay, so what we're gonna go back to, what I wanted to do yesterday, but we barely started, was Disneyland, the theme park in California. We're gonna do an individual ride review. Scale it 0 to 10. I'm gonna give you guys my picks, what my ratings are, and then you guys in the comments, let me know what you think. You disagree? Like, no man, that one's way better, that one's way worse. Let me know. We're just gonna have fun with this. Also give you a guide. People that don't live in Southern California want to come here with their children, give you guys a guide how to do this. The old Hood Hill Hopper. Pro tip in the theme park, Disneyland. So we're gonna start over. We'll go a little quicker through the first three. So you go through Disneyland, the entrance, Main Street, very cool themed. The atmosphere of Disneyland, nothing touches it. I think we can all agree. It hasn't even changed much in what, 60 years? It's so good. They just nailed it. You know, they call it the happiest place on earth. It might be. It's great. It's overcrowded, all that, but. So anyways, we're gonna start going to the left, which is, there's Frontierland and the other land there, I can't think of which we're going. So first we got the Tiki Room, which I think is like a sing and song sort of thing. I've never been in it actually, or if I was a very little child, I don't remember it. Next we have the Jungle Boat, which is where you're in a boat like and they've made up like a jungle scenery, and you go through the river, and it's obviously on rails, and you have a guide steering supposedly, and he's talking the whole time, just like cracking jokes. They have all sorts of animals like lions, you know, elephants, hippos, crocodiles, snakes. It's a good ride. This one I went over a little more. Like, a lot of people don't like it. I think it's boring. My wife hates it. She'd give it like a 2 out of 10. I always take the family on it. The kids seem to like it. I like it. It's relaxing. You're covered in shade, and you're just listening to some dude or girl talk nonsense for like 10 minutes. On this ride. It's relaxing, it's funny, you usually laugh out loud some. Good time, the kids like it. I'm giving it a solid 7 out of 10. I think it's enjoyable. I know a lot of people, like I said, my wife, think it's an utter waste of time. I enjoy the Jungle Cruise. Right, and they're making a movie with The Rock in it. I think that was supposed to already be out, but no movies are out, so go figure. Anyway, so Jungle Cruise, very enjoyable. I like it. I think it's fun. I could go on it over and over. I might be the only one, but this is Hood Hill Hopper scale. So we're giving it a 7, maybe 7.5. My wife should give it a 2 or a 1, maybe. Next up, we've got a heavy hitter. In fact, one of the, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's Disneyland's last, their most recent, like big ride, like roller coaster type-ish, you know, a big time ride. Indiana Jones, and this is right, it's got to be about 20 years ago, around 2000 or late 90s, they put it in, and it is excellent, excellent ride. It's like you're on an Indiana Jones Jeep, and you're going through all these labyrinths of caves and tombs, and you know, it's all indie themed. They've got the giant boulder, they've got the arrows shooting at you. It's phenomenal. It's a great ride. It's the Jeep's all over the place. In fact, it's the last ride my 6-year-old daughter could make it on because of the height requirement. I forget, is it 44 inches or more, 46 maybe? She's got no problems now, but it wasn't until about 2 years ago she could finally make it up there on that one. I love that ride 20 years ago. I'll be on it, I've only been on it once in the past like 15 years. That was with my daughter, and I said this yesterday. It was a day off from work I took, and work would not let me relax. We were having issues, and the whole time in line for the ride, and then during the ride, work was just bugging me. We had an emergency, so I didn't even get to enjoy it. And now I let my wife go on these rides with my daughter, and then I watch the 2-year-old. We do our own thing, because my wife, she watches the kids like 7 days a week while I work. So I let her at the theme parks usually take on the fun rides. So, but that's a great ride. I really haven't been on it a long time, but for me, that's a solid 9 out of 10. Easy. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, it's great. The other thing, waiting in line, you're all in the tombs and caves. But Disneyland's great at those long waits. At least they're kind of interesting. So they do a great job with that. So a solid 9 out of 10. And I truly think it's Disneyland's last like main park edition. Maybe they focused on California Adventure after that theme park across the street. Across the street. Just walk there, it's not even a street. That might have been what happened. So, oh, they added the Star Wars area, which I guess you can count that. I think that's got a couple main ones, so with that. But anyways, Indy, fantastic ride. If you like the movies, I mean, if you don't, it's a great ride. Easy 9 out of 10. Next, we've got Pirates of the Caribbean, which I classify as one of the original main rides, meaning it's a Disneyland mainstay. It's been here, I think we're gonna call it the beginning, maybe not, but it's been around forever, since well before I was born. It's barely changed. The only changes is they've added some smoke and fog effects. They've added what's his name, Captain Jack or whatever his name is from the movies they made with that actor. Oh, I can't think of his name. Jeez, dude. But they got him in it, and they made it a little more politically correct, because it used to be like pirates chasing girls. Not cool, apparently. So they made it like the opposite. The girls are chasing the pirates. It's cool. It's probably a good decision in that regard. We'll give it like a 1 out of 10 on the Disney woke scale. Trust me, they get worse now. That's fine. A good solid mainstay. Not my favorite. I used to like it more. I think part of the problem is you're in the water. It's all underground, and it's cool. The atmosphere is amazing. My issue is you're in this hard wooden boat, and you're sitting on it for like 20 minutes. It's a long ride, which is cool, but this hard wood hurts my ass, dude. That's what I was saying yesterday. And plus, you get a little wet. There's a couple drops, so you got this wet, hurting ass. you know, you're sitting on, you're just like, ah, it's all uncomfortable. It's all wet. So it kind of, I don't need to go on it much, but it's a cool ride. I think it also gets hot in there. I'm trying to remember. But it's a classic. This is a hard one to score. Because on its own, I'm like, it's cool. But I've got nostalgia with it. It's a 6 or a 7. Just me modern, I'm just like 6. But the kid in me, I'm like 7. It's a 6 or 7, maybe 6.5. A lot of people love that ride though. Very popular. Can't go wrong with it. They've got right there also, it's not a ride, but the tree house. You walk up like 3 or 4 stories or more up this tree house. It used to be Swiss Family Robinson. So by the way, anyone with Disney Plus, that's a great movie. I think it's from the 60s. I grew up on that movie. My parents recorded it on VHS. I'd watch it over and over and over and over growing up in the 80s. That one and Bedknobs and Broomsticks with, what's her name? The lady from Murder, She Wrote. Oh, Angela something. Oh, I'm so bad with names. But I love that movie too. Anyways, the treehouse, it's Tarzan themed now. After I think the animated movie, dear Lord, they're playing Phil Collins music inside. Hey, I'll tell you what, I love Phil Collins, but I hate his Disney soundtrack work on like Tarzan. Oh, it's some terrible music. Dude, get back to dear Lord, what's the name of this group? Man, when I'm running, my brain fog is terrible. You guys know the band he's in. Oh, wow. Anyways, with Peter Gabriel and yeah, that band I can't think of. Okay, anyways, enough of the stupid treehouse. Okay, we're gonna go down farther down the bayou. There's a Winnie the Pooh little ride. It's awful, don't go on it. I mean, you got young kids, sure, but it's not even a good one for the kids. Let's give it a 3. Don't waste your time. Next up, there's also there's the waterway, which they've got the, you know, the Dixie, we call it steamboat or whatever. You can go on that. It's fun. I probably haven't been on it in 25-30 years, so can't really give you a lot of details. Next up is a classic and a mainstay, the Haunted House. Okay, excellent ride. They theme it for Halloween, they theme it for Christmas. Excellent. It's been shut down since Christmas though. We got our passes. When we got our passes in January, we won't be able to go on it. But growing up, it's right up there. It's one of the best. It's one of my favorite. The atmosphere, it's just a relaxing, you go in this big house, and what they actually do, you get in an elevator, they drop you underground. So they've got it all built. That's what Disney does. It's really good deception and illusion. Most of these rides inside, you drop way underground, and the ride's all through tunnels through there. So that's what they do. And dude, it's an excellent ride. You're just moving around, not too fast. The ghosts look really cool. It's this giant haunted area. The kids love it. I will say this, the last time I went on it 2 or 3 years ago, it stopped literally every 10 seconds. I'm guessing to let, I don't know, maybe a handicapped person or something, or there's some sort of issue, because they gotta do it for that. But for some reason it stopped every 10 seconds. So it just totally ruined the ride. But we're not gonna let that hurt the scores. It's an amazing ride. It's a mainstay. It's an original. Definitely an original. Oh man, we're giving it a 9.5. 9.5. Oh man, maybe a 10. It's a phenomenal ride. I love the Haunted House. For Christmas, they theme it as The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's cool. It's been closed, so we'll see what kind of upgrades they're doing to it. Maybe not pausing every 10 seconds. 9.5. We might revisit that score. We'll see. Okay, next up is Splash Mountain, which that's not an original. That was built late 80s or early 90s. I want to say early 90s. very early 90s. Because I remember it being built. The first time we went there, it was either being built or wasn't quite open yet. Either way, and then from then on it was open as a child. It's a fantastic ride. You're gonna get wet. It's one of those, you know, log, you know, at the fair, the log rides where you get in the wooden log through water, slowly climbs you up, and then you do the big drop at the end. So that is, it's basically that in a nutshell. But in typical Disney fashion, it's a long ride. It's probably over 5 minutes at least. You're going through this mountain, Splash Mountain, doing all, having fun. There's all these characters, they're singing, it's telling a story. Everything ends up okay. Then you're at the top, and it's cool. Then and finally you're out of the cave and it opens up and you drop, dude. Let me tell you, you get soaking wet, legitimately wet. There's no way to avoid it. So if you don't want to get wet, don't go on it. I don't recommend it in the cold weather either, of course, obviously. So, but it's a great ride. When it was hot as a kid, we'd just go on it over and over and over again. That was insane. Now I'm like, oh, I'm wet, dude. I'm never going on that again. But it's a great ride, a great addition to that area. I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. It's easily the best, you know, log ride in existence, probably. Best one I've been on. And Disney's great with that. They'll take a traditional ride, stretch out, make it longer, add a story and a theme to it, and just make it amazing, even for adults. So that's a solid 8. One, gotta put an asterisk. From my understanding, there was they sing the song during it, Zippy Doodah or whatever. I guess, obviously I'm not an expert on this, I guess it has roots in slavery, which I could believe. So they're actually retheming it to that one movie from maybe about 10 years ago. Is it The Princess and the Frog, which takes place in like the Bayou, New Orleans, which is actually a really cool movie, and I think Disney's last hand-drawn animated movie. It's really good. But it's more I'll tell you what, some people are upset, you know, oh, it's tradition, blah blah blah. I really like the movie The Princess and the Frog, so I think it's a good idea, you know, not even counting, you know, if the songs has to do with racism or slavery, whatever. Like I don't know, so I can't comment on that, but I know it's a great movie, and I think it's gonna theme really well. I think they could redo it and refresh it and make it really awesome. So, oh dude, there's like a flyer. My nose, I need a haircut bad, so that might up it to a higher score. But right now, 8 out of 10. We'll see what it's like when they reopen a week. Just kidding, they're never reopening. Thanks, California. Thanks, state government. Okay, we got that next. Oh, you keep going. It's the brand new Star Wars area. I'm gonna be honest, I've only walked through it. I've never gone on either rides. One of the rides is so good, you have to make reservations for it, like days in advance, and you still camp out for like 6 hours. So yeah, we're not doing that. The other ride, just not do it. Now the ride you have to make reservations for, from what I've heard on YouTube and other stuff, they say it's the best ride ever, like anywhere. They say it's that good. So I'd love to go on it when things calm down a little. But anyway, so now walking through it, typical Disney fashion, it looks amazing. It's really cool. We walked through it at night. It was dark. It's like, man, this is cool looking. So anyways, we get through that. We come around. We can go through, let's go through the town. Let's work our way back around to the main street. Now we go straight ahead instead to the left, and you go through the Disneyland castle, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Disneyland's the Sleeping Beauty castle, and Disney World is the Cinderella castle. I could be so off on that, guys, but it's this great giant castle you walk through. Great for pictures, obviously crowded. They got some secret pathways I didn't know about that you can walk through it and see some stuff. Interesting. So I've never even really done that, but that takes you to it's the kids zone, like Fantasyland. I think it's Fantasyland, and they've got a bunch of little more like carnival themed rides than typical Disney quality. They're much longer, they're much higher quality, and they're all super themed. So it's what do you call it? It's times anyways. Okay, it like they've got that frog one, or the toad and something. They've got Snow White, they've got Peter Pan, they've got Alice in Wonderland, they've got Pinocchio. Let me count this one again: the Toad, Pinocchio, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan. I think they have a Dumbo flying ride, which isn't one of the carnival rides. Or it's a boat. You go through the way. I don't know. But anyways, they've got those 4. I think more. They've got spinning teacups also. They're all, in my opinion, I like them all a lot. It's hard for me to differentiate because they all kind of blur together. But you got young kids, even not, they're awesome rides. I always love that area as a kid. I've always loved it as an adult. They're just solid rides. My wife would rather die than go on those, probably, but they're a lot of fun in my opinion. Probably the weakest of the bunch is the Toad one, but if I recall, Alice in Wonderland's very strong, Peter Pan's very strong, Pinocchio I think's decent. I think Alice in Wonderland has the longest lines. There might be another one, a 5th one, so I apologize. But let's give it, we're giving it a pretty high score. We're gonna give them a collective 8. Just overall that area. Maybe even, you know, if you're a kid, a 9. 8.59. I'm kind of biased, but I really like that area. I think it's a great area. It's barely been changed. There's some secrets there. Above Snow White, the ride, there's a, you know, it's like they theme it all. It's a giant kind of castle looking thing. And the evil witch, whatever her name is, like at certain times she pops out. Like it's just the illusion of her. It's like, oh wow. So that's cool. Let's give that area a solid 8. It's excellent. Now let's go up to is it Toontown? It's, I think, the newest area, and it's still probably 15 years or more old, maybe 20 years, but I was in college by then, so I had no interest. Like I remember I heard, oh, they're building a new area, this is gonna be awesome, and then, you know, I open, I'm like 20, wait, what is it, Toontown? It's all kids rides. It's like, oh man. So I never went, I had never been there till what do you call it, till with my kids. So the last 4.5 years. You walk in to your right, it's kind of Who Framed Roger Rabbit themed. That's the idea it's mostly going for, which is cool because obviously it's based on the movie Toontown. He's got a ride, an indoor kind of, I think it's similar to Fantasyland with the all the little rides, Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, Pinocchio, Toad, whatever. Ride like that, but being modern, because those are original rides. We gotta give that the seal. Fantasyland, those are original Disneyland mainstays. This is newer, so the ride's definitely, it's a little higher quality. The Roger Rabbit ride, it's excellent. It's not much better, but it's a good ride. It's a good ride. You know, it goes around, you're in like a car, goes inside the building, it probably drops underground like all of them. It's a solid ride. We'll give it a the one thing is the line's long on it compared to the Fantasyland ones. Let's give it a 7. It's a great ride, but you're like, Steven, you just said it's probably better than those Disneyland mainstay ones in Fantasyland. You gave those an 8. That was a collective score. Like their overall theme, everything. This one, maybe I'm just older. I don't have the nostalgia, like I said. Only gone on it last 4 years. So yeah, I'm contradicting myself. There you go. Fantasyland's an 8. This ride's more modern, might be better. The Roger Rabbit, we're still giving it a 7. It's a good ride. Don't wait an hour for it. If you got kids and younger kids, so be it. But yeah. So then the rest of Toontown, oh crap. There's like a house you can walk through. There's a little playground area. There's all these like Roger Rabbit themed vehicles out and about you can sit on and they play on and take pictures. My kids will play all day on those. It's like, what are you guys playing on these cars for? But one of the cool things about when you have an annual pass, like I used to, before an annual pass, you know, we drop $500 or more at Disneyland for the day. And dude, you're stressed out of your mind. We're like, we got to get our money's worth. So you're rushing around. Like, no, you can't play on this car. So you can play on a car anywhere. You got to go on all the rides. Like, we rush around. With the annual pass, you can just relax. Like, they won't play on the ride for the car for half hour or even an hour. Who cares? We'll come back. It's not a big deal. Let them have fun. It's a totally different mindset. So even though you're basically, you know, instead of buying a house, you have annual Disneyland passes, it's still that is an advantage. Now next up is okay, I think there's only 2 rides in Toontown. You've got the Roger Rabbit one, then at the end you've got the kids roller coaster, which I'm not sure what it's themed as. But I'll tell you what, this is what I like about this one. The roller coaster, the line's never too bad on it because they've got way bigger roller coasters. Oh, son of a bitch. I missed Thunder Mountain Railroad and Frontierland. I knew, I was like, man, I feel like I'm missing something. That's okay. So this roller coaster is for kids. It's the very back end of Disneyland Park. The rides, the line's not that bad. Here's the best thing, my 2-year-old, since January when we got the passes, she's tall enough to go on it. And she loves rides. So she has a blast on this kids roller coaster. And typical kids roller coaster, it beats the hell out of me because the seats are too narrow. So I hate it, but the kids love it. And if there's not a line, you can just go over it over and over again until you have dislocated shoulders. So we're gonna give it another 7. For me, as an adult, I would never go on it, but with kids, it's fun. With the 2-year-old, you know, 2-year-olds can't go on a lot of the big rides, so to be able to go on a roller coaster, it's cool. It makes her super happy. That makes me happy. Let's give it a 7.5. 7.5. So this is what we're gonna do, because I gotta cut it short because I was lazy today. Been so tired. I slept till 5 a.m. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna call this part 1, Disneyland Ride Review Part 1. We're gonna hit some heavy hitters tomorrow. We're gonna start with Thunder Mountain Railroad, which I totally forgot. Okay, let's see here. 32. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Don't want to overdo it with the hamstrings. Just taking it easy. Hard part. It's burning. I can't open up. $32, $20, is that right? 40, 48 seconds. You know, it's the mid-high 40s again, but we're being safe. Oh my God, we're at the 20. We're gonna go just over 30. Sorry guys. Woo! Yeah, okay. that still gets me gassed. I'm Hooded Hill Hopper. Guys, Disneyland ride review Partland, hashtag reopen Disneyland, man. All right, that's part 1. Tomorrow, part 2. Hey, forgot to mention, this is video number 100 in a row. So, hey, all right, to myself and anyone still watching me, I've been busy as hell. I haven't been active with the social networking, but hey, I'm still doing the videos. You guys, let's get this done. I'm Hooded Hill Hopper. If you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, ping, thumbs up, comment, feedback. Let me know what you think of the Disneyland rides I've done so far. Give me your scores, list them down. We're gonna finish this tomorrow. God bless.